guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Shay Renee, and today we are going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac season 6 episode 12. Okay, so the episode starts out with Ashley and Candace still slinging, insults back and forth at each other, and Candace says she's not body shaming Ashley because she did call her wide-bodied and something else. I can't remember what she called her, but a wide-bodied or whatever, just to be mean. So she basically said she only said it to be mean, and she didn't mean to attack her body, and she slightly apologized. Okay. So Ashley said, you know what, I'll accept that, but I really don't think that you mean it, but whatever, I feel like you are still body shaming me. I just had a baby, so how rude of you, but whatever. So they decided to move on. So Giselle toasted Robin, and Mia invites everyone to a goddess lunch. Okay, so she wants to give an opportunity for transparency for the ladies in the group. And Mia recites the message Karen sent, saying that she will accept an apology from Giselle if she takes out the word death, because Karen is just hell bent on this whole situation with Giselle, where Giselle said, Ray will be dead before her beauty fades. So I still hang true to the fact that I don't think Giselle was actually wishing death upon Ray. But if it's going to be something that they can just apologize and move on from, why not? Okay. But getting back to Candace and Ashley, Candace has really been a little bit funny this season. Like, I don't know. I don't like her. I still hold true to the fact that I don't really like Candace, because Candace rolls off at the mouth a little bit too much for me. And she talks a little bit more than what she's willing to give back, if you know what I mean. If she talks a lot of crap, I don't think she really has anything behind that bite, okay? She don't have no bark. She has more bark than bite, as they said on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So I really think Candace needs to stop slinging all the insults. But then I kind of don't want her to, because it's funny. So I hope she continues to keep going along. So Giselle responds to the message from Mia that was apparently sent to her by Karen. And she says, Giselle responds, Karen and Ray will be dead before she ever apologizes to them. Okay, anyway. In the next scene, Karen is in Potomac shooting a Surrey County tourism video. Yes, I did say that right. Karen is in Potomac shooting a video talking about Surrey County, pretending like she's in Surrey County. So, moving right along. Giselle and her girls sit around and they talk about the trip to the Four Seasons that they recently took. So apparently they all stayed at the Four Seasons, the girls and Jamal, and they all kind of reconnected. Not relationship wise with Giselle, and Jamal, but apparently, they did some family things together. And Giselle was just kind of asking the girls how they felt about that. Then she kind of talked about Grace getting ready to move along and go to college soon, and then the twins will be not long after. And she asked the girls, were they really concerned about her being lonely? And she also asked them, how did they feel about her not really wanting to or did they want her to get married again? How would they feel if she never did get married? And then I really appreciated the fact that she kind of opened up to the girls and told them that she doesn't want them to have to depend on a man. And that is very, very key. You see on TV where women always try to marry well so that a man can take care of them. And it's really kind of, chivalry is still dead in a sense, but it feels like still that 1960s, 1950s vibe of women wanting to be taken care of by men, which is kind of glorified in society, right? So I feel like it's good for her to have a conversation with her girls, basically saying, you can take care of yourself. Be with somebody because you love them and they make you feel good, not because of what they can do for you. And she kind of went back and talked about how the same thing happened with the mom, with her mother, basically their grandparents, where when her mom and dad, Giselle's parents, got divorced, the mother really didn't know what to do because the father was taking care of her. So she said all of that to say, Yes, their dad was taking care of Giselle in the beginning, but she's happy now that she has really come into her own, and she's afraid to be back in that type of situation where she's married, she's depending on somebody. But I feel like this, if Giselle gets married again, maintain your own assets. Just because you're married doesn't mean that you have to 100% submit financially to your husband. Okay. So I understand the message that she's trying to teach the girls, but I don't understand why it's kind of something that she's holding on to, even with this knowledge. So moving right along, glad that she had that conversation with the girls, and hopefully Giselle can encourage herself to be happy, find somebody that will put up with her and her BS, and hopefully the girls can learn from their mom and not fall into her same traps and live their life and live out their dreams. So in the next scene, Candace comes in the house and ignores Chris. And Chris is asking her questions about the video shoot. And Candace asks him if he's drinking. And it's 4:30, so it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Only 30 minutes till the, nationally known time to be drinking. So it's not that big of a deal. But basically, they're kind of still in a tiff because Candace really wants Chris to come to this video shoot. And Chris is trying to get her to understand, listen, I don't think you respect what I do. You don't respect the things that I do to try to bring money into this household. And you really just want me to be at your beck and call doing whatever you want me to do. And I don't think that that's right. And I really honestly see the relationship with Candace and Chris where he really is an amazing balance for her. And I feel like Candace brings those childish walls down to an extent with him. I can see where she wanted to throw a tantrum in the moment, but then she kind of talked to herself and the adult part of her came out and said, you know what? I'm really carrying on this childish banter with him for absolutely no apparent reason. And I need to let it go because he is trying to do his thing with his business. He's trying to build himself up. I'm trying to do my thing with what I'm doing. And let's just move on. I love my husband. I'm tired of arguing with you. Let's move on. And I'm glad that she finally let those walls down. She was able to apologize to him. And I like seeing that side of Candace. I love the fact that there is an adult living inside of that body somewhere, that she's not completely childish 24/7. So kudos to her for finding a partner that can deal with her, because Chris, you a saint, because I don't know how you are married to a grown woman that acts like a 16-year-old. I'm just saying. So anyway, they get over it, move on, kiss and make up, and there you go. So the next scene, Wendy and Eddie, this really kind of touched my heart. They talked about Eddie and Wendy were outside with the kids and they were playing catch, and they started to have a conversation with the boys about Black Lives Matter. And then their son Carter was asking questions and basically saying, why is it that police officers, are they going to kill me just because I'm walking down the street and they think that I'm doing something bad? How am I supposed to react to that? Why are they like that? And that literally broke my heart for him to be as young as he is. I believe Carter is 8 years old. And, he's very, very intelligent, very, aware. And I think that Eddie and Wendy are doing an amazing job with their children, with keeping them aware of what's going on in society and just helping them to understand really how to react and why people do the things that they do. And Eddie says we have to treat, all police officers and human beings, treat all police officers as human beings because they are good. There are good and bad officers. Okay. So I love the fact that he says that every officer is not a bad officer. Unfortunately, there are a lot of bad apples that seem to sour it for the bunch. But just as there are bad officers, there's probably 15 good officers to one bad one. So kudos to them for even having the conversation. But I love that Carter says how he wants to become like Dr. Martin Luther King and change that Black people don't get to be a threat to white people and white people don't get to be a threat to Black people. And Wendy and Eddie express how proud of him they are. You know, I really appreciated this scene because it really does shed light on, you know, being an African American woman myself, how and I have a African American son. I'm married. I have one child, and I'm going to have that conversation with my son, and he's only 5 years old. So, you know, it really pulls on your heartstrings to see that, and to understand and really let it sink in that we have to have these conversations with our children, unfortunately, no matter how young they are, because it's sad, but they are a target, unfortunately. So we have to continue to educate our children and make sure that they are aware. And prayerfully, society changes where everybody can be equal and we don't have to worry about these things. But I don't really see that happening, unfortunately, anytime soon. So the more we educate, the more we can try to be great. Okay. So kudos, Eddie and Wendy. Great job with your kids. Next scene, Robin goes to meet Denise, her life coach. And the coach asks her to paint a picture of why she isn't motivated, because that's really the reason why Robin is going to the life coach. And Robin discusses her business and how it's doing well, but she doesn't trust her success. She told her about the past friend that stole all of their money, and she comes to the conclusion that she needs help in her business so she can focus on family time and her wedding. And she also admits that she wants Juan to help uplift her instead of putting her down, because she's lifted him up when he was down. And honestly, I agree with that. You know, Robin, we've seen her in different scenes constantly, you know, being a resource to Juan, helping him out. And unfortunately, it's not being reciprocated. It's like as soon as he gets a chance to pounce on Robin for anything that she's doing that's not really helping them in their household, he's like drilling it in her head. And I feel like what some men have to understand in relationships, that there needs to be reciprocity. It can't just be always the woman lifting you up and the woman always being the backbone and the man is just the financial resource. We have to both be each other's backbone and lean on each other. And I think that, you know, for so many seasons, for the last 6 seasons, Robin has been pretending like she doesn't really need emotional support from Juan. There was one season where she wanted to pretend like she really don't want to be with him. She don't know if she want to be with Juan or whatever the case may be. And we all know that that's not true. So I'm glad that she actually was honest with herself in this moment and admitted that she really does need his support. And maybe once she gets his support, we'll start to see her more excited about planning a wedding, more excited about being more structured in her business. And I'm glad that she realizes now that she does need to go ahead and seek help. And it's okay to be successful. The thing is, when you're successful, you just have to be mindful of what the possible downfall is, not looking for it. Being mindful and looking for the downfall are two very different things. She's already hit rock bottom. You know what it looks like. You know what the onset of it is. So be mindful, do the things that you need to do to create that continued success. And I want to see that for Robin, because she has a really good product. And I just want to see everybody financially stable. Okay. So I hope she continues to go to this life coach and get the tools to be productive in her life that she needs. So in the next scene, Mia gets all the ladies together for the goddess luncheon. Everyone arrives, everyone sits around the table, and Giselle asks Candace, is everyone still going to be in her video, even Ashley? Now, Giselle, you know good and daggone well that Ashley is not going to be in that damn video. Here you go, being messy goddamn again. Like, girl, take a break for one episode. Lord, you have secured your messy woman check, okay? Take a break on one episode. So I loved how Ashley and Candace actually responded in unison with basically a united front answer, where Candace said, no, I did not invite Ashley because we have decided that we're going to give each other space. And I can appreciate that. That's basically a nice way of saying she know I don't mess with her and she know I don't mess with her either. Okay, we don't mess with each other. Okay, so we not about to be in the same space and I'm gonna be dancing all up in the videos like Diddy. No, I'm not. Okay, I am not your friend. I'm not coming to support you. And that's that on that, period, Pooh. Okay, and moving right along from that. So Ashley replied, okay, so she said she was fine when I come. And then Giselle asked, how does Chris feel about everything? And Candace says she realizes she was nitpicking Chris a lot and she will have to make changes about his role, which I think that's also very mature of Candace, because I understand that Chris is like a crutch for her and he really understands her personality. He knows how to balance her. But I don't think that that is healthy in business, okay? You have to know where to separate the business and the pleasure. And he can't really be 100% pleasurist for you when he's also a part of your business, if that makes sense. So honestly, I hope that when she says she has to think about his role, that really means that she's going to move along and get another manager. I really hope that's what she means, because I think that will really help to preserve their relationship. So Mia says that she wants everybody to go around the table and say something nice about everybody at the table so they can kick off, positivity and healing and all this stuff. That's what this goddess luncheon is supposed to be all about. So Ashley starts off. Ashley says she's admires. No, I think, yeah, Ashley starts it off. Ashley says she admires how Candace is committed to what she is doing and pursuing her passion. And Candace says to Ashley she admires her being a good mother. But then, of course, that damn Candace in her confessional is saying, how she had to dig real deep to get that compliment for her. And Ashley basically says the same thing, like, y'all too. I just don't get it. I don't even know why y'all don't even like each other. It's just really crazy. And didn't damn Ashley bring Candace on the damn show? I don't get it. But anyway, moving on. Robin says to Karen how she loves how she can be Karen, but she can also have fun and laugh and laugh at herself. And Karen actually says she learned that from Robin, which I think this was one of those times where Karen was just trying to butter people up. I don't think she really learned that from Robin. I really think that Karen that's a genuine thing with her. She can be serious and she can be funny in the same second. So that's a really good balance for her. And then Robin says to Wendy she loves the passion she has for her family, then says, yeah, I'm going to keep it short. First of all, Robin, why are you still so butthurt over this situation with Wendy? Like, clearly, and I appreciate what Wendy said. Wendy said, well, you love the fact that I love my family, but you going to sit up here and help Giselle tear my family apart. Which one is it? Pick a side, chick. Well, we already know she already done picked the side of being up Giselle's behind. But here's my thing. That's pretty much you talking out of the side of your neck when you say something like that. So you just pretty much made that compliment up, and I'm going to just chop it up to you ain't mean it. So a scholar says she admires Giselle because she's confident and opinionated. And she, basically doesn't really care about how anybody feels about how confident and opinionated she is. And she says to Karen she loves how wise she is and how she takes others under her wing and gives good advice. And she recapped how Karen really just took her under her wing. And, she didn't know her from a can of paint, but very nurturing and very nice to her being a new person in the group, which I think that Karen has done that with everybody on the group. That may be her matriarch role that she has on the show. But I can appreciate that about Karen, and she's pretty consistent in that nature. So Mia tells Giselle to say what she loves about Karen. And Giselle says, I have nothing nice to say to Karen. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, you are committed to this I'm going to hate Karen for the rest of the season role. But whatever, go on, set yourself off, girl. Then Giselle goes to Wendy and says, I haven't even talked to you. And Wendy says, I haven't heard from you either. So they decide to just, Giselle says, well, let's just talk about it now. So then they get into a conversation about, what hurt who, and Giselle saying that she didn't really mean it, and she was just really just trying to inform her, but she wasn't trying to hurt her or her family, which we all know that's a bunch of BS. And I'm glad that Wendy sees through her BS. In the moment, Wendy seems to be like, you know what, I received this, Giselle, let's just move on. But she knows in the back of her head, listen, what you did was showed me your true colors. We ain't gonna never be friends like we were before, but I'm gonna just go ahead and let this go because I'm not gonna continue to be going at it with you because it's not even really worth my time or my energy. So I'm gonna let you think we cool right now, but we not. And I love that. Wendy, keep it pushing because that chick cannot be trusted. So, moving right along, Giselle wanted Wendy to apologize to her for how she came at Giselle. But Wendy said, I will not apologize for that, and I will defend my family with every fiber of my bone. And Giselle apologizes again for not coming to Wendy first. And Giselle says she's not out to destroy families. That's Karen. First of all, how you gonna ask Wendy for a daggone apology? Here's the thing, even if she had have come to Wendy first, you were so pressed to get that on the show because you were trying to make Wendy look bad and you were trying to tear her family down. So I don't understand what Giselle's, I don't get it. It's just really this whole way of her digging at people and really having no substance with herself is really just getting old. And I think they need to try to find a new angle because that whole scene and even all the Housewives shows is just really old. Like harping on one thing if they're not harping on one thing for the entire season, they just giving it to one person the entire season or dragging one person down. And it's just very draining. So anyway, she says Karen destroys the families, which I'm like, Karen don't be on here talking about nobody family and bringing rumors to the show. That's you. You have cornered the market on that for sure. So then Candace says she's been thinking about the things concerning Jamal and if the way the info came out had anything to do with how they split. First of all, Candace, you're going to do anything you can to talk about Monique. You hate her so much, but you still think about her every day and night. Because that's what you're pretty much saying. So if Monique had never brought the stuff on the show, would this be different? Would your relationship be different? You know it wouldn't be different because the relationship wasn't real. I think here is in my heart of hearts, and this is just my opinion. I feel like Giselle got into a fake relationship with Jamal to keep her position on the show because she knew that it wasn't going to be no continuing to come on the show with nothing to do or talk about. So Jamal is a walking freaking reality TV soap opera, okay? So she got her hooks back into him. I think there is still love there and that she really does care about him and it was fake in the beginning, but she was hoping for something real to happen. And he was like, no, I'm just here to act. We ain't about to really just make this real. Because it just didn't even seem real when she picked him up from when she was taking him to the airport that time. Like they weren't affectionate towards each other or nothing. So I could see that it was fake. But anyway, I think the relationship was fake and Giselle wanted it to be real and it never was. And so now she got to move on. She got her feelings hurt. So time to move on. So anyway, Giselle says what was brought up at the reunion when she heard the information, it actually wasn't new information to her at the reunion. She already knew. She basically was like, her and Jamal are best friends. Like he tells her anything. And I'm like, y'all best friends so much to the point where he just like, oh yeah, I'm cheating on you this week. Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. What? I don't understand. That is very weird to me. And if y'all got relationships like that, y'all don't ever need to be in a relationship ever again. Keep the co-parenting going. That's what you guys do. Because that right there in its totality is very disrespectful. So Giselle says she didn't say anything because she wanted to let Karen show her ass at the reunion. And she wanted them to think that they had something on her. Them meaning Monique and Karen. But here's my thing. Karen wasn't even digging at her as much. She was just asking questions. The same thing Giselle does. Get all up in everybody else's damn business. And she just wanted to clarify, okay, so is this going on? Oh, so is this real? All she did was ask questions. And Giselle sat there looking like a damn bump on the log, not responding to anybody. She had nothing for anybody because I don't think she did know. And I think maybe if she did know, she was still hurt about it. And she probably was shocked that they knew. So, girl, keep on playing around and trying to make everybody think that you just, so full of class and don't really care about what they think. You do care about what they think, and you do care about what happened with Jamal. So she says she knew months prior and she wasn't going to engage them. The producer asked in Giselle's confessional who told her about the woman. And again, like I said, she said Jamal told her because they talk about everything. And she said it hurt her and the kids badly. And Karen says Giselle brought a whole live relationship to them, and now she wants people to feel sorry for her. So Candace praises Giselle for actually expressing her vulnerable feelings. And Karen actually steps up and apologizes and says she's sorry for hurting Giselle and her children. And then Giselle apologizes to Karen. Actually, I never really heard her say that she was sorry. Yeah, I think Giselle slid up out of that one. But she basically started talking about how she wants to have a clean slate in the group and, how they all just want to move on. I don't think that they will ever be able to move on to things or from things because, first of all, they want to all have something to talk about. Second of all, her and Karen always finding something to argue about back and forth. And third of all, which is most of all, nobody can trust damn Giselle. Because we all know that she gonna find something about somebody in their family and bring up some shit just to keep shit going. That's her role. That's her job, it seems, But hopefully the her and Karen situation can move along because that's kind of getting old. If her and Wendy want to go at it for a little bit more, I guess. But I just really want to see something different in the season because now it's to that crossroads where it's like, all right, now the beefs are getting stale, moving right along. What's next? So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I'm on the road to 1,000. Any subscription at all that I get right now, I love the fact that you guys are watching my videos. I see the views going up and I am so appreciative of it. But please take the time to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.